So, the mic is working. Hello everyone, thanks for coming by, even though it's the last hours of the show. I hope you enjoyed so far. And actually I want to take just a couple of seconds for thanking JEC for this amazing opportunity to be here. It was pretty fun. So let's start because we have only 10 minutes and we normally take some time to talk. So I'm Tommaso. I am within Managing Composites in charge of the Native Lab, which is the training part of managing. And with me is Eneko Angulo. He's the Director of Operations, or the Chief Operations Officer in Managing Composites. And we'll briefly introduce you to what we do at Managing Composites and the Native Lab. But before we do that, I would briefly like to start with a little story. So this is a street, or one of the most famous streets in the world. It's Broadway in 1900. And if you pay attention or have a look at it, so you'll see that there is a lot of horse carts and just one car which moves with a combustion engine. The same street now, but with a big change. So you see a lot of cars with a combustion engine and just one which is pulled by a horse. So why did we start with this story? What we wanted to say is, if you look at these two pictures, there's a big change, but it's only a couple of years in between them, and it's 13 to be precise. So the first one was in 1900, and this picture is taken in 1913. So what we would like to show, or which is part of what we do at Managing Composites in the Native Lab, is composites. How long will it take to change completely mobility? And that's what we're here to tell us a bit. So now I'll leave the word to Eneko Angulo.
Okay, hello. So basically, thanks Tommaso for that intro. Basically, what we see that the reason why we started Managing Composites is that we see something changing. Yeah, we've been working with plastics for so long. We've been working for metals for so long. And now is the time for composites. We need something that is lightweight. We cannot say that a vehicle that is 2.5 tons, that is efficient. Yeah, maybe the efficiency comes through a better engine or whatever, but the lightweight is a must. And what we've seen in the past, in our experiences, is that you have very competent people at the client side. So OEMs, they know how to assemble and all that. And you have very competent people at the production sites, so suppliers. But somehow, or at least in our experience, they didn't understand each other. So the client doesn't understand why the supplier doesn't understand it, and the supplier cannot explain to the client the needs for that product to make it feasible. So we said it cannot be. It cannot be. Why can't they talk to each other? They both make money. They both have successful businesses, but somehow they don't understand each other. And we realize that many times it's because clients come from another industry. So they know about hemming, they know about welding, they know about casting, whatever, or plastic injection, but not necessarily composites. And the same goes for the supplier. They know about composite manufacturing and the technologies, but not necessarily how to assemble a car or how to design a product to be assembled into in some context. So that's where we started. We started working. To be honest, so much work to do. It seems it's going all right. And one of the things that maybe we struggle the most, and one of the reasons we are here, is finding, skilled labor, people who really know composites deep. And for that's why we start the Native Lab. It started more like internal thing. So when someone comes into Managing Composites, you need to understand the client, you need to understand the supplier, you need to be able to talk to both of them, you need to be able to design in composites, think composites, but sometimes you're not prepared for that practical world. You know the theory, you know how the molecules work, you know about crystallization of the resin, you know about the reinforcements, you know about all these kind of things, but not necessarily what does it take to put a 600 layer on a mold, or what does it take to change the stitching on a quadraxial composite, and what does that mean for the draping when you're creating a product. So that's why we started the Native Lab, and we give courses in that sense that are more on the practical side, yeah, where we explain a little bit what the reality is behind that theory. You can design so many products, but what if we have a sharp edge here, or what if, or what's the difference in the design when I'm making SMC or when I'm making organo sheets and I'm gonna work with thermoplastics. But maybe the best is that Tommaso, you explain a little bit more about the Native Lab.
You have 4 minutes. Huh?
Sure, that will be enough, I guess. So exactly, so the Native Lab, Nick already mentioned why we started it, but there's one thing more I would like to add to it. All this need of the market to have people prepared in composites and have the knowledge to solve engineering challenges with these materials, and how these materials actually enable to solve these challenges in a new and better way. Well, actually, it made us start the Native Lab, and so we've created different courses precisely because often the know-how is kept inside. So many companies have actually developed the know-how, but they are not willing or prepared to share. So I think that's also one thing that defines us now. We are not afraid of sharing this know-how. We think it's actually positive for the entire industry, for the entire sector. And so we actually started out in COVID. So we started with some webinars, which we still do, and they are even for free. And this then developed into some courses. And I think also another special thing is that we take the know-how of composites and combine it with what is called andragogy, but that's basically learning techniques, and so to ensure that there is an important learning experience. I think one of the feedback we receive most often by our students is that through our courses, it's really like they feel that experience is being shared with them, with people like Eneko, for example, who's been working in the industry for more than 10 years now, and the other trainers who are still actually actively working in the sector and actually constantly updating themselves. So that's the feedback we get a lot, and we like to hear, because that's precisely what it's all about. So to go a bit more in detail, we have an own course catalog that we have developed that is taught. So it's mainly online courses. So this is also to basically keep up with how learning is happening nowadays. And yeah, so we're developing always new courses. We have a course on composite materials, a course on monocoque design. So we go through the whole process of how a carbon fiber monocoque is designed. Then we have a course on simulation. We have a course on CATIA, and it's always, the focus is always composites. And then at the same time, we also teach at universities. So we're always open for partnerships. So we teach entire subjects, seminars. We do workshops, practical ones. So yeah, different things. And we also work with companies. So sometimes we have companies that come to us and they have a very, very specific need which is not addressed in the courses we currently have. And so we design something from scratch just for them. And I think that's also a very, very nice experience, because it's really small problems, but they make a big difference. And from that, big things can arise, and big changes, and how company adapt to completely new trends and so on. And then we have webinars which are for free, so you can always send us a mail to info@thenativelab.com with ideas of webinars of something you would like, and they are completely for free, and we all record them, so there's always the chance to go through them. So if you have any questions, since there's basically no time left, I see the countdown is running out, you can come by at the stand. We'll be there till the end of the meeting. So thanks everyone for listening.